Hello everybody, this is Tip Top MTG here today with another MTG Arena video. In today's video, we are continuing Brawl Week, a week where I post a Brawl gameplay video every day of the work week or Monday through Friday. Today we are playing Grazilaxx. This is a really awesome commander from Adventures in the Forgotten Realm because obviously all of the commanders in this week are Forgotten Realms commanders, and it does two things. So it says whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand, and whenever one or more creatures you control deal damage to a player, draw a card. So this is a very interesting commander, and it's actually one of my favorites for this week. So we're running a couple different types of creatures that are all going to do different things. So we have some creatures that are just hard for our opponents to block, so they can guaranteed get us to draw an extra card each turn. So those are things like Gingerbrute or Wanti Malison, which basically can guarantee that I can get a hit in. However, we also have cards that want to be bounced to our hand, so things with good ETB abilities. For instance, Gadwick. We can, play him for 1 blue, and have him be a 3/3 that draws us a card. And then later in the game, we can swing, and if our opponent blocks him, we return him to our hand and can recast him to get that good ETB effect. Same thing with something like Skyscanner, which, by the way, also has flying, meaning it can really easily hit our opponent and draw us a card. So there's lots of really awesome stuff, like one of my favorites being Baron. When he ETBs, he returns something, a creature or planeswalker, to its owner's hand. And then at your end step, if a permanent was put into your hand from the battlefield this turn, draw a card. Which means that you can play him, bounce an opponent's creatures, maybe swing. If an opponent blocks one of your creatures, you return it to your hand, and Baron will draw you a card. And essentially what that means is you're guaranteed to draw a card, because either they don't block and Grazilaxx draws you the card, or they do block and Baron draws you the card. So this is one of the powerhouses of the deck. But we have all sorts of on-hit triggers, things to make things unblockable, ETB effects, just lots of really awesome stuff. We even go up here with Cyclone Summoner, which is a little crazy, but essentially it's a 7/7, and it's hard to block because it's a 7/7. It also ETBs, and then if your opponent does have to block it for some reason, it then can re-be your board wipe. And a lot of our stuff are wizards or giants, so like a lot of this stuff, and I say a lot, it's some amount, we don't have a ton, but things like Baron and Gadwick are those types. We also have something like Wandering Archaic, which I think is just a really awesome spell. Voracious Great Shark, it's a counter spell on a creature, so we can maybe get it into our hand and counter something again. Split the Party just seems like an insane card to me a lot of the time. So just really awesome stuff. It also lets us, bounce our own stuff if we really want. So there's just lots of really awesome stuff here with ETBs. Because of that, we're running things like Thassa. This is one of my favorite decks. I recommend you check it out. The deck list will be in the description. Why don't we just jump into this? So yeah, this is, when I went back and I played through all the decks, I built them, I tuned them up a little bit, and then I went and just played with them for a little bit, and this one was my favorite. It just, something about it. It's like, normally mono blue decks are not that interesting to me, but this one just has an interesting play pattern because it's all about attacking, which generally mono blue doesn't get to do. So we are going to take a look. So this is a pretty decent hand. Ghostly Pilferer is already a really awesome card in Brawl, and it actually synergizes with our commander. So it says if an opponent casts a spell from anywhere other than their hand, draw a card. So for instance, am I going to play it? Or am I going to play the Omen Keel? I think I'm going to play the Omen Keel, just because we could theoretically play Thieving Skydiver, crew it, and maybe get a land if we miss our land drop. But what's good about this one is that it'll draw us a card when our opponent plays their commander, and then also we can discard a card to make him unblockable, which, if we have Grazilaxx out, means we draw a card. So we essentially discard a card to draw a card. Pretty awesome. Thieving Skydiver is pretty cool because we can bounce it back to our hand and maybe steal another artifact. It's also just kind of good. They have an Arcane Signet, pay 4 mana for a 2/1 and an Arcane Signet. It doesn't seem bad. So we didn't manage to get a land. So what we're going to do is we are going to play Ghostly Pilferer, and then we're going to crew the Omen Keel with Ghostly Pilferer. And then we're going to swing with the 3/3, assuming it survives. Our hope is that we hit. No. All right. That's unfortunate, but whatever. It happens. That would have been able to get us our land drop. If we don't get another land drop, I may end up conceding. And that's one of the great things about Brawl, is that if you're just having a bad game, you're not drawing your lands, you can just concede. It doesn't mean anything. especially when your opponent is playing a 5-color deck, because generally those are really obnoxious to play against. But we'll see. If I draw a land, it's going to be fine. Ranger class, all right. And kill spell. Oh, that's great. All right. All right, we do draw a land. So we're going to play Grazilaxx. Next turn, if it survives, which it probably won't, we'll play Frostlinks, which is one of the weaker cards in the deck. It's just there isn't a huge amount of ETB stuff. And it just, I like it because it taps down an opponent's creature, which means it's easier to attack. So it's kind of removal on a creature that we can then keep reusing. It's a little weak, but I still enjoy it. Let's see what they are going to do. Lotus Cobra, that's great. All right, yeah. I'm done. Hey, again, we're a land behind and they're playing a 5-color control deck. Or at least a 5-color really heavy removal deck, and that's not fun. Normally my deck can, handle that, but when I'm missing land drops, it's just not great. And that's true of any deck. If any deck misses their land drop, you're not going to do the best. But yeah, this one also has been one of the most powerful ones I've had. So we're going up against Snapdax. That's fine. We have the Omen Keel again, but we don't have any low CMC creatures, but Grazilaxx can kind of fill that slot, so that's why I'm going to stick with this hand. Yeah, so we can do, Omen Keel into Grazilaxx into Thassa. Thassa doesn't have a great target. Actually, now we have this guy, who's actually an amazing target for Thassa, because essentially with Thassa and Alirios, this guy, Alirios, I can create a 3/2 every turn, which just seems pretty good. All right, he's hovering over my stuff. I don't like that. It means he's going to remove it. So they are in the 3 most removal heavy colors, and they're saving 2 mana. So if this doesn't get killed, I will be shocked. Okay, we're gonna... Yeah. Alright, Omen Keel, it's been good knowing ya. Actually, they might go for Grazilaxx. No, okay. Yep. Or Omen Keel. It keeps getting, exiled. Let's see. Or not exiled, just removed. And Grazilaxx is about to get removed. By something. Oh no, never mind. Normally when someone hovers over the card for just a second, I'm like, oh, it's getting removed. But we're good, unless they have shock or something weird. That's Frostlinks. See here, it lets us swing through, get the extra card draw. Next turn we can play Thassa and permanently tap something down. We're also going to get to play Wizard class, which I don't know if that's going to be a huge deal, but this one was one of those cards where I'm like, it's, it's very similar to Frostlinks, where it's not the most, probably efficient thing, but we do draw a decent amount of cards, so this could be relevant. And then it's a 4-cost divination that if we can get to this mode, it says whenever something hits, you get to put a counter, which then means it's easier to hit. So Wizard class kind of does what we're trying to do. When you have a commander that draws cards, a card that cares about drawing cards is probably good. Snapdax can't come out yet, but when he does... Okay, Grazilaxx gonna die. That's fine. I'm not too worried about it. This is one of those decks that can still do stuff without the commander. It just has a lot of value-based creatures. Now we can just go immediately play our commander again, and I'm actually going to do that, which is probably a mistake now that I'm actually analyzing my move, just because if he gets a land, he mutates Snapdax onto Mire Trident, and then... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, and then does 4 damage, but... Nope. It's fine. It does irritate me a little bit how the Brawl meta has kind of just become so removal heavy. It's like, yeah, if you want to win games, which MTG Arena encourages you to just win games, not play them, which I think does lead to a lot of this. But okay, this commander is removal. Every card they have played has been land or removal. And I mean, I would consider a Death Touch creature to be pretty close to removal. Oh, if I had one more land, I could steal Solemn Simulacrum. That'd be really fun. Um, let's go Larios. And then we can foretell Raven Form, which will let us kind of deal with whatever whatever happens with Snapdax. Yeah, this is one of those weird cards that, like, with Thassa gets really good, or with any way to replay it gets really good. And so it's really fun to be able to play those cards that don't necessarily get to see play, and getting to have them see play, I guess. All right. We could totally steal Solemn, bring them down to one blocker, swing with everything, yada yada yada. We could also Thassa and then Raven form. Yeah, I think we're gonna Thassa, tapping down the Phoenix of Ash, and then save Raven form. Or am I actually? I'd probably create a 3/2. Yeah, we're just gonna create a 3/2. I'm not worried about the Phoenix of Ash. So essentially, we get rid of one of their creatures and let them draw a card. I get to flicker him. Which actually I could have flickered Frostlinks, and then next turn Alarios would have untapped, and then I could have flickered him. But no, he enters the battlefield tapped, so yeah, there's no way around. I was like, is there a way I can get both a reflection and him untapped? No, not with Thassa. If we manage to get one more Devotion to Blue, it shouldn't be too difficult. Oh gosh, what is this card? I mean, I know what this card is, I just don't exactly remember what it does. Okay, so kind of just a removal spell that also generates a creature. That's pretty cool, I guess. We don't have anything that this really synergizes us with. All right, so he only has one angel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually just exile this so that it can't be a removal spell. It's now just a bird, and then we are going to we could either Wizard Class or tap down the Death Toucher. If we tap down the Death Toucher, we get to swing through, but I think Wizard Class would just let us refill our hand pretty nicely. And then we have a Resculpt, which is actually pretty awesome. Let's just swing with, honestly, both of these. If he wants to waste his 2/1 on my Frostlinks, I don't care. Or his Death Toucher, specifically. All right, yep. That's exactly what I thought would happen. Let's see if is there anything that would be terrifying about this? Yeah, it's kind of annoying that the double strike would make that worse when they get mutated upon, but I still think making the creature is just... So I have the choice, make a 3/2 or tap down something of his. And I'm honestly thinking we should just make the 3/2. That's just better in the long run. Prevents attacking, and it could turn into a disaster, but we have Resculpt, so actually that's not that bad. All right, so this literally, we were able to counter this for 1 mana, so this we don't really have to worry about unless he manages to play another angel. If he goes to mutate onto Phoenix of Ash, I can do one of two things. I can kill Phoenix of Ash in response with Resculpt, right? And what that will do is it'll mean Snapdax will enter the battlefield. He'll have a 3/5 double striker. Okay, with, yeah. Or I can let it mutate, let the trigger happen, which would then kill something, but then I also get to kill Snapdax. So I either get to let him kill something or let Snapdax stick around. And honestly, I think I'm going to let Snapdax stick around if he ever plays him. I guess he probably... Is he just playing this because this is the only one in this color combination? I don't know. But if I let Snapdax... Oh, well, that's tragic. I like my 3/2 generator. Yeah. All right. Well, he is running low on cards, and we do have a board wipe of sorts with Cyclone Summoner, which is not great for us because most of our stuff is tokens. Okay. Is there anything I want to do? Yeah, I want to reduce the chance that I draw I want to reduce the chance that I draw a basic land, so we're just, this might not be the greatest thing in the world, but I just don't want another basic. So, yeah. Surprised he didn't go for red, just saying that he has something that has red in its activation cost. Um, hmm. I'd like to hold 2 mana up, meaning we really only have access to 6 mana this turn. So what we're going to do is we are going to play Arcane Signet, and then we're going to, I guess, upgrade Wizard class, and then save the 2 mana for Resculpt. Then we're going to go to our end step. You know what, if he wants... no, then I get no value from Thassa, so let's flicker it. We're going to tap down Phoenix of Ash, because it's like one of the only things we can't block. It won't untap. And then, yeah. Again, probably gonna... I don't know, I'm not really worried about the removal spell. I almost want to leave Snapdax on the board and then get Thassa to be a creature, and then we can just, like, infinitely block Snapdax. He can't use it as a removal spell, and it kind of keeps one of his creatures in check. The issue is if he puts it on one of the 1/1s or 2/2, I guess I exile it. I like how I'm focusing so much on what I'm going to do in response to Snapdax, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. All right, now we're probably board wiping. Yeah, probably. All right. This doesn't really matter, other than if I put this on this, it becomes an actual threat when I swing. So I can put that, see if I can bait him into using it on one of, or like blocking with one of his real creatures, not a token. He might just take 4, he might block with the 0/1 and then sack it. That's what I would do. Oh my. Okay, I am so down with this. I know it has escape, and I know he has enough cards to escape it, but I just don't even care. Yeah, I keep sacrificing creatures, it really doesn't matter. If only it didn't say if you cast it from your hand. I could just like keep board wiping every turn with that, so that'd be really fun. Yeah. Yep, okay. Let's just play Cyclone Summoner, basically bounce everything back to its owner's hands, which sucks for our wizard class. But it does set him back pretty thoroughly. We have a 7/7 now. I can Frostlink something, Resculpt something. For that, Mire Trident does suck, but we can Frostlinks it, and then Thassa, and then keep Mire Trident tapped down. Of course, I just want to say, of course, he does this now, but also it does. It's not a. Am I being dumb? What? Oh, it has Death Touch. Yeah. Okay. Um. All right. I'm gonna just play 2 cards that say no Snapdax. That no Snapdax ever again. Please and thank you. I'm gonna do this. I know I'm not leaving mana up for Resculpt, but I just don't care. I don't need to flicker. It's fine. It's tapped down already. And so that's gonna stay tapped down literally forever. To think, if I would have been able to Resculpt. Okay, now I wish I could tap down 2 things. 3 things. Hey, that's a way to tap things down. I could draw 8 cards. Oh my gosh. Wait, I want to upgrade this, draw 8 cards, turn my Frostlinks into a 10/10. That's what I want to do. And that is what we shall do. We're going to play Grazilaxx, which turns Thassa into a big thing. And then we're going to upgrade Wizard class, and then we're going to swing with Frostlinks, and not Thassa, because then I can tap down something else. And then we're going to turn him into a 4/3, and then we're going to flicker this, which will let me tap down this guy, because this guy can get bigger. I don't like that. We can block Snapdex with Thassa. It doesn't have trample. Oh, but it has Death Touch. Oh, shoot. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't have trample, though. We're good. Death Touch tramples the issue. Oh, great. Now it has flying. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I forgot that he could have other mutate cards. Hmm, interesting. Well, that was devastating. Which then gets rid of Thassa. I mean, they're all flying now, so... unfortunate. Oh, and he has a creature. I can't even do my crazy stuff with wizard class. So I think okay. So we're gonna play. Okay, I want to plan this out. We have access to 13 mana. I have one spell I can cast at instant speed at the moment. Um, which means, and then I can also Frostlink. So we can make it so 3 creatures can't attack. Which and we can make Thassa a creature to block this guy. Um, so that means we can. So if I need to be able to cast Resculpt, that means 8 mana we have to draw cards. So we're gonna draw like 5 cards. Okay. This will refill our hand. We get to put a bunch of counters on stuff. So we're gonna put a counter on this, a counter on this. We're just gonna like load Gadwick up. Actually, I lied. I shouldn't have put that on Frostlinks. I'm about to like undo that. But actually, no, I'm not, because I'm about to swing. Luckily, we have no max hand size. We could steal the feather for... Oh, X can't be 0. That's so sad. Oh, it says X or less, so I could pay 3 and steal it. We are going to go to combat and swing. Hopefully getting 4 damage through. It doesn't matter because we'll flicker it. It'll be untapped. We have... Okay, yeah, so we are not dead by any stretch of the imagination. We can survive this. So what we're going to do is we are going to flicker this guy. And we are going to tap down Everquill Phoenix, which is kind of the greedy play, but I have a counter spell and a Resculpt. So, like, there's not much he can do. We can block the Venerable Warsinger and tap down his 2 flyers, is essentially what can happen here, because we can Brazen Borrow something, and then we can get rid of, like, the Feather. We can do a lot of different stuff here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to counterspell this, which means we can tap down this guy. And actually, since we're tapping things down, all right. And then what we can do is we can actually bounce this thing, which lets us tap down this guy. So he has no blockers, and we have some pretty big creatures. So 13, 15. We have to make sure I do this right. Each opponent who doesn't discard a non-land. So I need to discard a non-land card. So we're gonna get rid of the Library Larcenist. I'm not gonna be that dumb. I draw a card, which means this guy can go up to that. We have Glasspool Mimic, which can tap down another thing, so we can tap down 2 of those. We can play this at instant speed to tap down something else. Okay, so we can tap down everything still. Yeah, we can get, I guess, a Replicating Ring. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Wait, let me do the math. Let me make sure there's no way I can win right now. So 14 damage, that brings it up to 16. We could theoretically... Can we increase that in any way? We could up it to 20. So we are 1 damage off. We are 1 card. I wish something here had double strike. That would be great. No. I need this timeout. Okay, I can use the timeout. It's fine. We are so close to killing everything. All right, we are going to play this with a kicker of 1. Tapping down, whatever, this. I'm going to tap down what I'm about to steal. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So we're going to steal the feather, but the more important part is that this is a flyer. And then we can flash in this to block, to tap something down. And then we can also do resculpt. Okay. Which means we are good to swing with everything because it's all flyers. Okay. And then we go to our end step and we flicker the frost links, keeping Everquill Phoenix tapped down. Okay. Then we Brazen Borrower, tapping down something, and hope this card is not awful. This is a new way I have been, okay. So, what we have to do here is we have to resculpt this. We have to use that to tap this down. And yeah. We can't let this trigger because that will literally just kill us on the spot. So essentially, he gets his commander back. He can mutate it for what? That's normally 5, so we need 7 mana, so he can't mutate it. He gets this 3/3 with Death Touch. Yeah, I think we win. Because I can Brazen Borrower, tapping this down. He knows that, and then I have a huge board. As long as I can cast 2 blue spells, yeah, good game. I win. That was so close. So, how I actually end up winning next round, I play Baron, bouncing the 4/4 back to his hand and tapping down the 3/3, and then just swing with everything. So, yeah, that was kind of what I love about the deck, is that you get into these really weird loops. Like, you know what won us that game? We had one creature that won us that game, and that creature was our good old friend Gadwick. He allowed us to just tap down things constantly. We drew enough cards to be able to have enough fuel. It was close, and that's what I really love. It wasn't just I was either being dominated or I was dominating the opponent. It was a close game. It was fun. We won by just tapping down our opponent's stuff, and even Wizard class, which I kind of like dissed on a little bit, being like, oh, it's not that great. Managed to just kind of win us that game as well by putting all those counters. So it was kind of a mix of a lot of things, even Frost Links and all that. So just a bunch of synergy working together to win us the game. And it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was one of my favorite commanders of this week. Again, the deck list will be in the description down below if you want to check that out. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.